Actually, I gotta wait for it to start up anyway. Oh, here we go. Hey, what's going on, everybody, and welcome to the Talkin Moto Podcast, presented by MB1 Suspensions. We can't thank them enough for everything that they're doing to help promote the podcast, so big thanks to them. And we're coming at you live Monday, March 31st, 2014. St. Louis Supercross, round 13 is in the books, and we'd like to thank everyone that's helping us out with the podcast. MB1 Suspensions, Fine Tune Motorsports, Motokazi, Plainview Power Sports, Hardline MX, Minnesota District 23, Spring Creek MX Park, The Bicycle Works, The Damn Bait Shop, The Open Mic Podcast, Northland MX, and SKD. This is Scott, and as always, we got the crew, Jason and Jeff, giving up a Monday night for the Talkin Moto Podcast. Welcome back, boys.
Howdy.
Hola.
I'm giving it out.
Yes.
Ooh, you're sending it. You're just
I'm just sending it.
Snow is it? It's raining there, right? We're not snowing, or it's gonna rain then snow for you guys.
It's raining yellow.
Ooh.
check in with Ollie Murray. It's raining sideways.
It's raining upside down.
Oh man. Let's see here. Well, so hopefully we're going to have Brandon Haas with the Club MX. Hopefully he's listening. We'll be calling him in a half hour, hopefully. So that'd be pretty cool. Hopefully we got some good questions and get some chatter on the chat room.
Yeah, you got questions for Brandon Haas, throw them on the chat room. We'll get them to him if he doesn't hop in there himself.
Whoa, there is. All of a sudden we got people in there. We got to get that thing to crash. So tell your friends.
Oh, crap.
Joel's house.
Taco's here.
Oh, man. Who's Taco?
We don't know.
I don't like that guy.
I'm not really sure.
Oh,
I'm not affiliated.
I think it's Taco from South Park.
Did you get your little gift today, Jason? Did it show up?
Yeah. Thanks for giving me a heart attack, by the way.
Why?
Well, I've been waiting for my new gear for over a week now, and there's a box laying on the front step that says Fly Racing Western Power Sports on it. I'm like, hey! And it was just from Scott.
Sorry.
But no, I got it. Not that I'm not excited about it. All kinds of sweet stuff in there. So, yeah, I'm excited about it.
So, sticker up Farmtown.
Yeah, I'm wearing my Talkin Moto t-shirt right now.
Nice. Hey, you know what? I am too.
Sweet. I am not wearing pants though. I am Porky Pigging it in my Talkin Moto t-shirt.
Oh man. All right, here we go. Let's see here. All right, what'd you guys think of the racing?
I was into it.
What happened again?
I thought it was kind of I don't know. I tweeted our friend, and I did not get a response back, but I thought that maybe they should race in Canada every weekend.
Ooh.
But I don't know.
No, I thought it was all right. It's just the activities of the last 2 days again have just taken me away from it. I honestly had to go on Racer X when I got home from work and look back through it and had to try to remember who won and what all happened, but I'm refreshed, so yeah, it was all right.
Nice. Well, I think probably the big one. I'm guessing we all saw Will Hahn's little get off. What did you think of that?
That was scary.
Yeah, quite impressed that he came away as good as he did, because I did not expect to see him moving at all. That was wicked.
Yeah. Like, he was knocked out before he flipped off, right?
Nah, I don't think so.
No?
I don't think
he
he
took
was.
a pretty decent shot to the head there. I'm not sure he was knocked out necessarily as much as I was just. I mean, he was obviously in some serious pain. I don't know if he was knocked out. I guess I didn't really.
I think he was out when he was on the ground there. I think he probably got knocked out when he hit the ground because he was just kind of looking like roadkill laying up against the tough blocks.
Yeah, like I don't know. I thought maybe it almost looks like he almost hits his head on the lip of the jump before he gets kind of, ragdolled off to the side. I don't know. That was pretty nasty. But
I would agree.
so what did I hear? Broken collarbone? He broke his humerus.
I guess I didn't hear anything about collarbone. I saw
heard he
dislocated shoulder and some contusions, and then broken humerus. But
isn't your collarbone? Is that your clavicle?
yes, I believe it is the clavicle.
That's the technical term.
Yes,
that's what I heard. So that's okay. And then I heard
very well could be
something with a fractured skull.
Oh,
that don't sound good.
You don't want to fracture that.
No. And don't they run one of those, what is it, the 6D helmets or whatever? Don't the Geico guys run something different?
No, they run 60s, don't they?
I know, like, Tomac does. I guess I'm not sure about Han. He probably does, though. I don't know. Now you're putting it on the helmet?
No. It's not saying that. It's probably a good thing he had a good helmet on. I don't know.
I'd say it's a good thing he had a helmet on. He was out there wearing a paper plate. I'm sure he'd be in a lot worse shape right now.
A lot of people I talk to and I tell them, that I ride motocross or whatever, they're like, so do you wear a helmet? Yes, I wear a helmet. Thanks for asking.
Got time for no helmet? Speaking of out, this is going off, I guess, off of last week. AC's out now. Super bad.
Yep. There goes another one of my predictions. Out the window. Think it's probably a good idea, though, as young as he is, and from the sounds of it, he's had shoulder problems for quite a long time. Probably best to get that taken care of now. He's got a long future ahead of him.
Oh, Matt says he's on is it a showy?
Yes. That is pronounced showy. I don't think he's on it. I think he wears one.
Yeah, he's in it.
I don't think riding a helmet around is probably the way to go.
That was his problem. Oh, I did see something on the Twitter that I should probably bring it up because I'm going to come across wrong. But it was something to do with, I think this individual might have thought that they changed the track, or maybe they had prepped the track or changed it a little bit from practice. So that's why when Will come in there, maybe the lip wasn't the same. But I don't know.
Well, I think that's pretty normal, isn't it? They go out and groom the track. I mean, things aren't going to be exactly the same as they were in practice.
I'm trying to...
Well, it was that. I think that happened to a lot of people, didn't it? Coming through that whoop section, they weren't able to get off of that Dragon's Back clean.
Dragon's Back.
Yeah.
I think it was just a mistiming it thing where he didn't get the pop that he wanted to, or wasn't it right after that? Maybe he lost some speed. I'm trying to remember where it even was, but
no, that was what were they doing? They were tripling in. I think was that when it comes back. Now I'm second guessing myself. But no, it wasn't on the Dragon's Back. It was in a different section. But
okay.
I was trying to think because the lights or the 250s, were they doing that same rhythm? I wanted to watch it again and double check, but
oh, that's right. I know where it was. Yeah, it was after they re-entered the track from the start straight. So the start straight kind of goes into that section But the guys hit that wall. Remember, there was that big wall that they hit, and then after that, they went into it. So yeah, they were tripling in, and he came up way short on the first triple.
Yeah. And that's what I was thinking, like, everyone else, I could see maybe if it was like the first practice, but, or not first practice, but first race.
Yeah. I don't know how they managed to go an entire lap before they red flagged it. Because it seemed to me like that was a red flag instant, As soon as I saw it, I'm like, oh, this one's over. They're going to red flag it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was kind of crazy that Dungey came around through that section under yellow, and then they red flagged it.
The whole track come through there, or the whole pack come through there, and it seemed like that's one of them no-brainers where you just red flag it when there's a dead guy on the track.
Yeah, it's a possibility though that's the first flagger with the red flag.
Let's see here. But all right, sorry, trying to get our guest lined up. Did you guys hear how Perrin panned out? Was he okay after that little mishap?
Yeah, he was a little banged up from the sounds of it, but I guess he rode afterwards. I didn't really follow up on that one, I guess. I didn't follow up on much of anything, so don't feel bad, Joe. I was worried about you.
That was a pretty gnarly one.
I never actually saw a video of it or anything, but that picture didn't look good.
That was MX Matt took that one, right?
Yeah.
Ooh, ugh. But you were talking, yeah, we'll have to try to get him in here, maybe next week or something.
Yeah, next time I talk to him, I'll actually get his phone number, because apparently that's important when you're trying to line somebody up for an interview, that you get their phone number.
That would, that helps. It does help.
I'm new at this game. I'm not used to this, so I apologize. We've only done this 13, 14 times now.
And you'd think we'd figure it out. But I think we're getting better.
I hope so.
We don't have years. We have a few weeks into this. I'm trying to go through my notes to see where we want to go next. What did you guys think of Barsha and Pike? That little incident with I don't know.
I think that's another quote unquote incident where it's not an incident if it isn't involving Barsha.
What do you think, Jeff? Do you know what we're talking about?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I guess I don't think that there was you didn't quite get to see it.
The only thing like that to me that I didn't like is, for Pike, I mean, he's obviously riding good, and for him to, I think, make it out of the heat race is awesome, and they both were in a transfer, and yeah, it is like a Supercross block pass, but it was like, the last lap, you're both in a transfer, obviously Barsha had the inside anyway, so why not just, I don't know. I don't think he needed to run it in there that far, and he could have taken Pike out, for a spot that he essentially already had. But I don't know. Does that make sense?
No, I don't think he ran it in that far. I don't think it was. Like I say, if it isn't Barsha, we're not even talking about it.
Well, yeah, but I think the thing is, I get what people are saying, or I guess I don't know if people are saying it or not, but it seems like Barsha tends to make contact in every pass that he does.
But there wasn't even contact.
I thought he so that maybe they didn't hit, but he.
I thought he slid his ass end into the front of Pike, but I'm about to see it again, so I could probably.
I don't believe there was any contact there, but.
I don't know if this is true. This is all hearsay, but I heard today that Pike was in the tunnel, and he put his bike up against the side or whatever, and was waiting for Barsha, It's like, come here or whatever. And I guess Barsha was riding up, and then he, did a 180 and went and got the AMA official guy.
Nice.
But like I said, I don't know if that's true.
Well, I'm pretty sure Pike's not a dude you want to F with that way, because he seems like he's enough of a hothead to throw down and wreck his night just because he's pissed. So,
right.
Barsha's one of the guys who he talks like, he says it's anything that happens on the track's no big deal. So, and I've never really seen Barsha get pissed off at anyone other than that lapped rider that he went and roosted when he was laying on the ground, but.
It was an accident.
I'm watching the replay, and Barsha does slide his rear tire into Pike's bike a little bit, but it wasn't bad. I mean, it's not like he took him out. Pike, hung on to it, and it looked like after the race when they were showing the two ride down that rhythm section talking to each other, it looked like Barsha almost initiated the little back and forth. Maybe he was just saying good ride.
I bet that's what he was saying.
I did.
Way to go, bro.
That's why he headbutted him, right?
Exactly.
Now, is it just me, or I thought they were doing the heat races and then they do like the semis? When did they stop interviewing the semi winners?
We were kind of talking about that. I don't know.
There hasn't been much consistency with it.
Yeah, there really hasn't. I don't know if maybe Jenny was out on a smoke break or what was going on there, but.
Oh God.
Yeah, I think at the first race they didn't interview him because if I remember right, someone won the semi that I was looking forward to hearing what they had to say, and they didn't even talk to him. And then a couple races in, they started talking to him, and now they're not doing it. So.
Like, oh God, it was right on the tip of the tongue. Because Alessi had his meltdown, and that was a heat race. And then didn't he do it again, and that was a semi, right? When he was talking about he didn't know
he's
how.
Won.
Oh, that was a heat race. Another heat race one.
I think he's won 2 heat races. I could be wrong about that, I guess, but I'm sure someone in the chat room will straighten me out.
Matt, what's up? Tell us.
I've been getting straightened out in the chat room. I'm kind of taking a beating right now.
Good.
But it's all right. I got a thick skin.
I don't know if we want to talk about this right now or not, but I don't know if he's your buddy Jason, and I say his name wrong, but the 7 deuce.
What about the 7 deuce?
Him and Jason are tight.
We are. We go to Walmart together all the time.
Maybe
I heard his Walmart rap, so
maybe we can get him on the show. And
well, not if you keep talking about him.
Well, that's just I want him to come on, and
happen.
He needs to come on and straighten me out, because after his one little his Subway thing, I'm like, this dude's a douche.
No, see, the problem is you were looking for something serious. Like, you thought it was going to be something serious, and it obviously wasn't going to be. You got to realize that the dude's putting on an act, and if you just sit back and take it in, it's friggin' hilarious.
I must be old. I'm getting too old.
You are old. I mean, I'm old, but you're old.
So, all right, I'm sorry then, because I kind of chuckled when I seen him crash out of the LCQ.
Yeah, I actually shed a tear.
What else you guys got? What'd you think of the track?
It's kind of basic.
Yeah, another cookie cutter Supercross track, in my opinion, but it was all right.
It wasn't terrible though. The dirt seemed like it was pretty good traction wise, so I like that.
Yeah, it looked like they were, like when they'd come into the corner, they could really lay it over and accelerate around the corner, which I thought was pretty awesome. But
felt like they had the berms lipped up a little higher than they normally do. So there was a lot of corners where the guys could really like get her laid in there hard. And I think it might be because all the berms weren't very close to the stands, so they could build them up pretty high. I think that plays a part in them because I think a while back someone went into the stands. I think it was like Matt Gerke or something went into the stands. So there's a size limit on the berms.
He did his best impression of a Lambeau leap.
Well, it's like when you go to the hockey game, right? You know, there always is a chance you're going to get hit in the head with a puck, but you go anyway.
There's always a chance you're going to hit in the head with a 220-pound dirt bike.
That's right. That's why I guess you don't sign a waivers, do you?
I don't know.
I don't think there is any waivers. Got to be a loophole in there somewhere.
One would think.
But yeah, I mean, I thought it was, the dirt looked good, at least as far as TV goes. I guess what I didn't like, it just didn't seem like there was a ton of, like, passing. Now, I don't know if that's maybe just TV coverage made it seem like there was no passing, but...
Again, I think that's what we got to watch on TV. Like I said there in the chat room, I'm pretty sure the three of us were the only people that weren't there, judging by Facebook and Twitter and everything else. So they probably know better than we do.
Amy doesn't like... Do you not like our comment cookie cutter? But that was the other thing, too. So I was at work again on Saturday. So on my break, I'm trying to figure out, how everybody's doing. I know Mike was down there, Perrin, the local guys are all down there, and it's like, the only thing I see is for top 10 or the top 15, It's like, someone needs to post up how, like the top 40 or do the top, do top 10 or top 20 on one and then do a screenshot, the top 40 times. I didn't see anything.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that's been quite a bummer lately. I think the politics have definitely been coming out this year. And maybe it's because we're paying more attention because we have so many local guys involved. But, I mean, even the Lights LCQ, Zach Williams is leading it, and they mentioned him twice. I mean, it's like they're talking about guys back farther in the pack. It's like, seriously, come on.
Well, they were talking about that dude that had a twin or something out there. Like,
oh, yeah, his brother or whatever. Yeah. Yep.
Hey, I heard the other day, I thought it was kind of neat that they talked about Mike, I don't know how to say his last name, Bottleson, in the Supercross online, so that was kind of neat.
Sweet.
And he's in the chat room, so I thought I'd throw that out there.
Nice. And you know what, Mike, if you are listening, you need to hook up with Jason, because I would bet the Talkin Moto Podcast on the front fender of your motorcycle that's got to be a couple tenths right there, wouldn't you say, guys?
Oh, it's easily 2 or 3 more horsepower.
It's that simple.
I mean, I put mine on a front fender because I don't have a bike in my house right now. It's just on my front fender in the basement, and it's got more horsepower than it used to have.
That's what we're talking about.
That's right.
Well, thank God Trey Kennard came back, because he's the only one that saved my fantasy picks. Otherwise, we were looking at another goose egg.
Where did he finish, 8th or 9th?
Well, with what was it? Dungy and Brayton kind of running into each other. That kind of snuck him in there, so I got lucky on that break, but he ended up getting 5th. So,
what are you doing to that dog? God.
I don't know. I'm trying something different. I'm in my kid's room right now, and it's too close to the front door, and I guess he really don't like what's going on outside.
Ah, that could be.
Oh, that's because my wife and kid are leaving.
Oh. They finally had enough of you. Does that mean I better go unlock the front door? Boy.
But so Kennard, he was back. Tomac, I believe, was also back.
Yep.
I bet you guys didn't know you were going to have a domestic on the show tonight.
I did. I planned for it. It's what happens when you don't wear pants.
Maybe we can interview a Northfield policeman.
Yeah.
Quick, get in here. Oh, and on a...
Hey, be quiet! Shh.
And I know you guys are pretty excited that Tyler Bowers won his 4th consecutive AMA Supercross featuring Ricky Carmichael's Road to Supercross.
I couldn't be more excited.
World Championship?
Yes. I shook up a bottle of champagne for that.
I didn't even know that happened, but...
Then I put it back in the fridge.
I did read that so he will be racing one more year of Arena Cross. And it didn't.
No surprise there.
And it doesn't sound like he's going to race any Supercross, at least as of right now. But he's got some deal for Costa Rica to race down there all summer.
Really?
See, I don't understand why that dude... I mean, I wonder if he's making pretty good money.
I would assume
so. I have no
so.
idea what the guy like that could make for championships. I don't know what the bonus could be. Maybe it's, $250,000 or, $100,000. I don't know, but I feel like I wish he would race some damn Supercross already.
Maybe after next year, I would think, but I don't know.
I mean, the dude's good. There's no question about how good he is. I just don't understand why. I guess he found his niche and he's happy with it, but I don't know.
Yeah, because I guess I thought I read today that, Buddy Antonez, he's got, I don't know if he has 5 or if he also has 5 consecutive titles. I'd have to look that up. But let's see here. All right. You guys might have to talk constructively. I'll see if we can't get our guest in here.
What shall we talk about?
We should talk about maybe the whoops into the staircase.
Whoops, in the staircase?
Also known as the Dragon's Back.
Oh, throwing me off on your terminology there. I don't know what the hell you're talking about.
What Amy and or Mike is talking about. Yeah, I guess, I don't know. I mean, the Dragon's Back was pretty gnarly. It looked like, isn't that where Joe crashed, from what I remember?
Yeah, I think so.
Mike Little was talking about Joe crashing off of that thing, trying to jump off of it, and I seen that in the LCQ, the guys were doing it a little differently in the 250 LCQ, and they were just rolling over the last whoop, which was pretty slow, but it was definitely a lot safer.
Yeah, it was effective. I don't know. I thought that was kind of a dumb section in my opinion. That's leaving way too much up in the air. I mean, it's pretty hard to come out of a section like that and then go into a rhythm section and do it the same every lap. I think that's asking a lot.
Yeah, I mean, I don't necessarily... I kind of liked that a lot of guys were struggling with it, but it seemed like the top guys didn't struggle with it after, after practice. I was watching the practice, and a lot of guys were struggling to get it down consistent, and it would have been fun if that was happening to them in the main event, where they were if they weren't getting it consistently, but all of a sudden they all figured it out, and then it became kind of boring.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like...
Well, I think that's going to be...
Because it's just an equalizer, It's nice to see... It's sometimes good to see pros struggle at shit that we struggle with.
Yeah.
So...
All right, let's see if this works.
I see we got Jolene in the chat room.
Heck yeah. Oh, boy.
We'll have the Haas duo. Formerly Haas.
Oh, shit.
Currently Haas.
Hey, watch the language.
Sorry, my phone... Nothing's working again tonight. As per usual.
What else is new?
I think we'd figure this out by now.
We need to get a beep. So when you're dropping... Of course, we don't have a delay, so that wouldn't work very well.
I think we could set it up.
You just hear the swear word and then a beep.
Radio edit.
I forgot to get my beep going.
Oh, gosh.
Hello, it's Brandon.
Hey, Brandon Scott with the Talkin Moto Podcast. How's it going?
Good. How are you guys?
Good. Thanks.
Good.
Thanks for coming on.
Yeah, no problem. Are we on right now?
You're on right now.
Oh, right on.
Oh,
Well, no
Scott,
problem.
You failed, man. You're supposed to say, we're about to go on the air. You got to do the whole disclaimer thing.
Oh,
So he doesn't come on and swear.
let's
Yeah.
keep it clean.
Who am I all talking to?
We got Jason Place and Jeff Klein. I don't know, because you've been out of Minnesota for quite a while, right?
Oh yeah, I've heard the names before, but yeah, it's been a little while. Probably, I guess it's been 4 years now since I've moved down here.
The last time I saw
Something.
Brandon, not to be weird, but it was in a hot tub, I think down in Stillwater, Oklahoma.
Yes, I was.
Oh really?
I was also in the hot tub.
Really? That's going way back. Yeah.
I might have seen you out a few times. You've been back here. Well, you've been back here in the summer a few times, weren't you?
Yeah, we came back. I think actually me and Mike Evenson, one of the trainers here, and then my brother Phil. We came back. I believe it was at Memorial Weekend at Millville last summer, and we went out a little bit and raced and stuff. That was pretty fun. But otherwise, that's the only time I've been back in the last 4 years. So I miss it, but I don't know. I mostly miss Millville really, but just haven't got back too much lately.
Yeah, it must have been 4 years ago because I think I saw you at Kellogg. So it's probably maybe it went that quick.
Yeah. Or actually, okay, no. Yeah, I was back for a Kellogg weekend. Actually, I came back for a funeral, and I went to Kellogg and rode on a Saturday. So I think that was probably 2 years ago. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
All right, Brandon, I gotta ask, what's like a normal day or a normal week for you guys out at the club? What do the guys normally? What's their routine?
Well, like every day is different, but like a kind of like an average schedule as far as times. Like just today, for example, we have a clubhouse. We got a nutritionist and a cook, so we provide breakfast and dinner for these guys here. So at 7:30, everybody's in the clubhouse. We eat breakfast. On Monday mornings, right after breakfast, we go over our weekly schedule. We talk about any changes, stuff like that. And that's only on Mondays. But then from there, they go right into their warm-ups, their morning cardio. And they meet Sarah in the gym and kind of do that whole thing. And then we start riding at 10. So like today was a moto day. Every day we have specific goals. So like some days are moto, some days are sprinting, some days are just technique training. It's a little different. So today they trained on the bike from about 10 o'clock to 2, so about 4 hours. Most guys did motos through the day. Some guys they worked with Gary on technique, and like Zach was on the Supercross track. So once we get started, there's basically 3 trainers, me, Mike, and Gary. And there's an A, B, and a C group. So each group has about 4 or 5 or 6 guys in a group, and they have a trainer with that group working with them on whatever their schedule for the day is. After that, we have a lunch in there. After that, about 2 o'clock, then they have their afternoon stuff. So some guys have gym appointments at 2, some have 3. There's a group of us that went on a road bike ride, cycling at 4, which was a pretty good group of guys, really, like Osborne and Nicoletti and AJ Catanzaro and Darian Sinai. Like, it was a pretty big group, so it's a good time, too. Like, it's kind of fun. Everybody here gets to be buddies, and they train together on the bike. They train together off the bike, and it's kind of like just a big family, really. But then after that, we have dinner at 6, and then they have chores right after breakfast. Everybody here has a specific chore. It's about 15 minutes, whether it's emptying trash cans around the RVs or cleaning the clubhouse, picking up the fitness center, whatever the case may be, and then they're done for the day.
Cool. So how does that work? Do you commit for like a whole year out there, or can people come out for like camps or?
We don't really do any camps. We do, but we don't. I think we have 2 or 3 a year. That's about it. We do some weekend stuff, but mostly our deal is we sell every spot here on a 1-year contract. So we have 27 spots, which is made up of RV sites, cabins, and a house. and we sell those on 1-year commitment. So we're basically selling that site, and I know it doesn't work for everybody, and but I don't know. I guess when you look at all the other training facilities, that's probably what's different is that we don't do camps, we don't do guys coming in and out. Like the thing from the start was that I wanted a big family where we could keep up with all these guys the best we can when they go racing, when they're not here, when they're here. Try to give them individual attention as they can, and that's really hard to do when you're doing camps and working with a bunch of other people, and you got guys coming in and out all the time. So it's I think that's a little bit more why we have more pro guys and stuff like that, I guess, in other places, is because the younger kids, they obviously can't make a 1-year commitment. Not to say we don't have younger kids here, but not everybody's in that position.
Right. Nope. I think I don't know. From all the stuff I see on like Facebook and the YouTube videos, I mean, the place looks pretty awesome. So.
Thank you. It's a constant work in progress. Like we're not where we want to be yet, but I'm happy with everything. Obviously, I'm beyond happy. But it's it's not just me. It's a team of people. Like we have. My brother, he's works on the tracks all day and does a whole bunch of stuff around the facility. There's 3 of us trainers. We got Sarah in the gym and Deborah, our nutritionist and cook. I mean, it's not just me. There's a team of people that make it work, and I mean that's kind of our main thing, is to try to get the best team of coaches and people we can get in here. And if we're putting out a good product, obviously, I feel like the group of riders is going to continue to get better and better with the guys we're working with. So. I mean, that's kind of the ultimate goal, is to create a team instead of versus other people. They just work with one person. You go train with so-and-so, like you're just with him. We have kind of varieties because not every personality is the same.
Right. How's the club wake, your lake thing coming along? Is that all done?
No, that's a touchy subject right now. We actually our dam started leaking, so we had to drain the whole pond, which took almost a year to fill up. We got the cable system, like it's all sitting here. We got everything, but we had to drain it. And actually, next week they're coming in to put a liner on the front of the dam, and then gotta wait for it to fill back up. So we were supposed to open that up this spring, and it was actually about a month ago it started leaking, and so we gotta do a little more, and that's turned into a huge project that but it's going to be really cool when it's done. It's going to be, these guys, there's a bunch of guys last summer, we had a bunch of stand-up jet skis and stuff like that, and it gets brutally hot here in the winter, so it's kind of cool when we're done riding, they can come over and do some wakeboarding or jet skiing or whatever, and have a little fun, cool down a little bit.
Yeah, I don't know why it just kind of dawned on me. I remember seeing, you guys working on it, and then it's just like all of a sudden I haven't heard anything about it in a while. So.
Yeah, it's actually it's the longest 2-tower cable system in the world right now. We got the first one that was ever made as long as ours is. So it's kind of cool. It's a big cable system, so it'll be pretty sick.
So how does that work? Will that pull you down and then loop and come back, or you just go down one way and then hop off, and then you'll have to catch back up again? I don't know how any of that stuff works.
It's basically it's the same thing as like just wakeboarding behind the boat, other than there's no boat and no wake. So the cable, you start off on a dock and it just snatches, and you take off and you ride it as long as you want. Basically, it goes down at 180s year round. You go all the way back down at 180s year round, and you just keep going. So there's ramps and rails and stuff like that in the pond that they can hit. So you can water ski, you can wakeboard, you can kneeboard, a whole bunch of stuff on it. You can control the speed. There's just a guy with a remote controller running it, so it's just an electric motor. So yeah, it's pretty cool.
Cool.
That sounds awesome.
So, yeah, they're sick. They're more popular down here than what they are in Minnesota, obviously.
What kind of snakes do you have down there? Aren't there like poisonous snakes down there?
We got snakes, yeah. I mean, I don't know. It's not like To be honest with you, I was super sketched out about it, coming from Minnesota, like, because everybody talks about it. But in the 5 years I've been here, like, I've only actually come up on one snake where it actually like scared me. Like, I've seen them in the dozer when I'm clearing trees or doing stuff like that. But as far as like, you keep your grass cut short, and you're good. Like, the snakes, you can't just go walk through the woods like you can in Minnesota not paying attention, because there are a ton of rattlesnakes. There's water moccasins, copperheads. Like, there's some bad crap, but they stay away from. We're so busy all the time. We're running equipment, the bikes, the kids everywhere. Like, you never really see them anywhere around the facility. You just see them when you go places that nobody's been. So it ain't a big deal.
I was just thinking, I just picture them cruising around the water as I hear about the water mocks. Think that they're all over on there.
No, they're, like, to be honest with you, we have 2 ponds at club where we have water pumps to fill up our water trucks, and, like, they're pretty just nasty ponds. I've seen them mocks in or two, but like, nice ponds where people are boating and activity going on, they don't like it, so you never really see them around.
All right. Hopefully this will be okay to say. It's not that bad. So, okay, we all know what happened at the beginning of the year with the trailer. So, what do you got now? You just got a little trailer, or were you able to fix the old one, or what do you guys got going on?
Well, without getting into like too long of a story about the trailer, basically the trailer was a total loss. The stacker we had, that was pretty much a learning lesson for me. I don't know why, but I just kind of thought that insurance on your truck or motor uncovered whatever you're pulling, but it doesn't. And the trailer came disattached, so the trailer was totaled, and insurance would not cover it. And so we pretty much, honestly, we just left it in Texas and then scrapped it, and bit a big bullet on that and a lot of work. But so now we just have a little 16-foot enclosed black trailer that I've had for a bunch of years. So basically right now it's just a motorhome and a little trailer. So it kind of sucks because, obviously we had sponsors and stuff come on board because, we had the big canopies made and all the skirting, and, we had product displays and a Ranger that was for a Jinx Players dealership. And, we had a lot of promoting to do because we were able to haul stuff around with us. And so now it's just kind of like, we obviously can't do that. We can barely fit the bikes and gear and stuff, whatever we got to take just for the riders. But at this point, the whole team deal right now it's just about the riders. And as long as the bikes are good and we can get them to the track and keep them racing, then we'll recover from the trailer somehow. We're just working on that at the moment. So it's kind of a little bit disorganized and not a perfect situation, but it's still going good. So I have no complaints.
Because you got now you have 3 riders, right? But only 2 are racing right now. Is that right?
Yep. We got Vince Freezy, AJ Catanzaro, and Jace Owen. And Jace, we just didn't do the last couple of rounds. He's going to come back for New York, but he had dislocated his shoulder in Atlanta, and it never really got a chance to get better. And we've had some arm pump issues and stuff like that. So we just decided to take a few weeks off. Well, it ended up being about a month, and just get back to basics on training and technique, and adjust some things in his program. And he's doing really good now. So I think when he comes back to New York, it's going to be really good for him. He's not a back of the pack rider like he has been doing the rounds he has done. And I know he's a rookie and there's a learning curve along the way, but Jace is without a doubt a top 10 dude on a bad day. And we just got to make some adjusting and get him back to that point, and then he'll show everybody what he's got.
Cool. Nope. Yeah, because I seen AJ, he got 5th in St. Louis, and that was season best, right?
Yep, that was a good race for AJ. That was actually, I think, the worst for Vince and the best for AJ. But Vince well, I mean, Alex was second, and Alex Martin, he trains here too. So it's not like I'm at the Supercross not just for our team, but to help, all the club guys. So like Alex Martin and Kyle Peters and Kay Clayson and pretty much, any of the guys that are there racing. But so Alex Hill shot second, and I was all pumped up. He's in third, and he crashed in the whoops and took Vince out with him when Vince was running fifth.
Yeah.
And so kind of a bummer of both guys go down, but that's part of it. But AJ did really good. Alex and actually Vince both did really good. They were down for half a lap behind, and Alex came back to a ninth and Vince to 11th. So they rebounded really well. But AJ just finally, he just kind of finally hit his strides. This started the day off really well. He liked the track. AJ is a really good rider. That's about how he should ride all the time because that's how he rides during the week. But there's so much mental stuff in this sport and other variables that behind the scenes nobody knows anything about. And that's just kind of his learning curve right now, is figuring out how he can get in that state of mind all the time. And that's something we work on all the time as well with riders here. And we're always trying to learn more and figure out new ways. But the mental side of things is really complicated. But AJ's getting there. That was a good race for him.
No, I seen that Vince. Is he fifth? He's fifth in points right now, right? And then
yep.
So he should probably bump up because AC's in fourth, and obviously he's out, so he's like 20 points behind him. So I think that'd be pretty awesome if he could get up into that fourth spot.
Yeah, I think Vince is going to be, realistically, he's fifth, but he is fourth with AC being out. And then I'm not sure where Biscaglia sits, but I'm pretty sure he just got hurt this last weekend too. I thought I read on Twitter or something, but I don't know where he's sitting. But Vince is, I don't know if Vince is, he's just outside the top 10, and if he can just put in another couple good rides like that, I think he'll be in the top 10. So for our first go-around, I'm really happy with how everything's been going, and if we could put two guys in the top 10 overall, I think that's pretty cool. Last weekend, both guys finished top 10, 5th and 10th, or 5th and 9th, I think, and then this weekend, 5th and 11th. So, I mean, I don't know, for a first go-around, and I didn't know much about the team stuff, and Lucas, he's the other side of it with the Factory Metalworks. He's the one who does most of the everyday work and the stuff during the week, and he did a really good job building the race bikes. And I mean, I don't know, it could always go better, but I'm happy with how it's going, and I think it's going to grow into be something really big.
Cool. Now, okay, so you brought up the guy with it's the Factory Metalworks, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think you said something on Twitter. I think this could be maybe not what you were talking about, but whenever I see your guys' on TV, right? And it's it's, Vince Freeze on the Factory Metalworks, and then that's it, I'm always waiting for him to say Club MX, but they never do,
Yeah.
Is that kind of what you were talking about?
No, I'm cool when they just say the Factory Metalworks, as long as they just say something. When I talked about them not saying nothing, just so you guys know, it's me and Lucas involved in this race team. So the Factory Metalworks is title sponsor, and just with that being such a long name, I think that's a lot of the reasons why they don't list off, Geico, like they say Geico Honda, but to say the Factory Metalworks Club MX, it's getting to be a pretty long deal. So I think they just keep it short. Club MX is tied in with them on everything, but I'm second to him. But I have no problem if they just say the Factory Metalworks race team. That's all I ask for. But it just bums me out. And I don't see it as much from a riding. When all the years I raced, I never seen this side of it. But now that we're involved with the race team, I kind of understand why there's no money in this sport. I understand why riders barely get by. I understand why outside sponsors don't get involved. You watch a main event on TV and all they talk about is Monster Kawasaki. That's it. Monster this, Monster that, Monster this. We've had multiple races where we put guys in the top 5, and now back-to-back weekends pretty much top 10, and very, very, very little of anything to do with our sponsors gets announced. When it's listed, you know, we talk to them about it, we tell them, you know, track walks, we're telling Ralph or whoever it is, if, you know, talking to them about it, what can we do to get a little more exposure, like whatever the case may be, but it's so difficult. It's kind of like, you know, the whole thing just, I know it's a Monster Energy Supercross, so I get it, but if you're not Monster or Geico, it's like they don't, I mean, even look at Rockstar KTM, like that's a big team, and how many times have they even said that on TV, you know? It's like, how are you going to get other sponsors on board with motocross and supercross if their name's not getting said on TV? That's all they want.
Right.
So it's really really, really frustrating, and I don't know, there's a big gap in this sport with the guys running it that makes it really difficult for people to get started and, you know, and get money involved, because there's so many companies that love the sport and they're fans, but if they can't get any exposure, what are they going to spend any money? And if they ain't spending any money, the riders ain't making any money.
Well, see, that's kind of what we were talking about earlier. You know, obviously they interview the heat winners, but I don't remember last week or the week before, but I remember interviewing like the semi winners. You know, and you know Zach Williams, he won the LCQ this week. But obviously they never, you know, I don't know if they've ever done the LCQ winner, but I don't know. I think some of that,
yeah.
I think they need to bring those guys on, and, you know, I think.
Yeah.
But.
Yeah, but then they wouldn't have time for their.
Oh, what's that, Jeff?
Go ahead. I said then they wouldn't have time for their, 7 or 8 minute spotlight on Ken Rock. Or whatever the hell that thing was that everyone fast forwarded. I watched a little bit of it, but
yeah,
that's the stuff that drives me nuts. And I like Ken Roxon, so I didn't mind that one. But some of the stuff, it's like, it just I don't see that they need to do that. I don't see that casual fans are going to get brought in by that. I guess To me, the racing speaks for itself usually. So I mean, most of the time, I think casual fans like the crashes more than anything, and that sucks. But
yeah. No, it's hard. It's frustrating, and I'm sure there's, you know, more to it than what we see. It's always different from being on the other side of things. But I don't know. It's the first time I've ever been involved. Like all these years, I've raced, but going to the races, you know, as a trainer is different. But now I go to the races as a trainer, but also, you know, I have my foot in the door with other things. So I'm looking at it from different ways. I'm talking to different people about things and sponsors, and now, like, you know, it gives you a totally different perspective on how things operate. And, you know, it's really sucks because it hits home for me, because I see guys that are top 10 dudes, and I see guys that bust their butt every day. They train all week long. They give up everything in life. I mean, these guys are living out here at Club MX in the middle of nowhere, you know, so that they can eat, breathe, and sleep training. Like, that's it. They just want it. And it's unfortunate when guys work that hard and they can't even hardly get by. And then you got younger kids wanting to be like them. And it's kind of like, it's frustrating because at the end of the day, there's so few people that actually make a successful living at this. And a lot of it is just how the sport's run and operated by the guys who do it. It's all about sponsors. The sponsors won't get on board, and we can't get more media on the sport. Like, now we have all the races being live and everything like that. Like, that's huge. That's what all these companies want. But who cares if it's live if they're not announcing any sponsors other than Monster and Geico? Like, that's it, you know? Who gives a crap?
Right.
So.
Hey, I got a quick question for you, Brandon.
Yep.
Did Alex get his GoPro back?
Well, it's not actually his GoPro. That's the GoPro dude. But yeah, they definitely got that somewhere. So I'm sure that video will come out pretty soon, because that's gonna be sick. But no, they actually, the guy who runs, like, GoPro actually is really cool, because they pay privateers like Alex. You know, they pay them to run the GoPro on the weekend, and they probably got 10, 15 guys, privateers, that are out running the GoPro, and they got this little pay thing set up that the the top privateers, they actually pay them at the end of the year based on how they did. So it's kind of cool, the little ways like that where they can make, you know, a couple $100 on a weekend just running the GoPro. It's pretty cool. But they actually just put them on before they go out racing, and they take them off when they get back to the pits.
Okay. I seen Vince had one on too, so probably get a couple good views of that.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool. Yeah.
So so you said you got Martin and Brayton rides out there too quite a bit, right? How far are you guys from like the Joe Gibbs? That's pretty close, or?
JGR is just above Charlotte, so it's not that far. We just have to drive through Charlotte, which makes it a little bit longer, but it's about, I'd say, an hour and a half commute for us to go there and then to come here. But you know, obviously, like, we do a majority of our training here. Like, you know, we have multiple tracks, and that's what having a facility is about. But like tomorrow, a bunch of guys, our whole A group and B group is going up there to train. So we go do training at other tracks, and it's pretty cool that, you know, they let us use their facility, and they get to come here and use ours. They do a lot of their testing for outdoors and stuff on our track just because it's so rough and gnarly. And JB does come here. He doesn't train on our programs, but he knows like what days we're doing what, and because of the relationship we have with JGR and Justin, and he helps a lot of guys here. Like he trains with us, you know, quite a bit, but he doesn't live here by no means. He just comes down once or twice a week sometimes and gets in on what we're doing for the day. But it's pretty cool to be involved with them guys. They help us a lot, and we try to help them.
Nice.
Yeah.
So did he break his foot and his finger? Did you hear anything about that?
Yeah, I just know what I talked to him on the flight home, but I think he did break his foot, but I don't think he's going to be out by no means. He's going to muscle on through it, and I know a couple of years ago when he broke his leg, when he was on the factory Honda deal, that was a pretty bad deal, and man, he still raced every weekend, and he would train the day during the week, and it would swell up real bad, and he'd take the rest of the week off and go race on the weekend. And JB's a pretty tough dude, so I don't think it'll set him back any.
Cool.
Yeah.
So now I'm guessing the plan, you guys are going to do all the outdoors, right?
I'm not really sure. We're still trying to figure out what our outdoor plan is. We're going to do some. I don't know yet if we're going to do all of them. It's going to actually, probably by the end of the week, I'm going to know exactly what we're going to do. But we got some guys that are helping the team out and stuff like that. So we got meetings this week with them to see what we can work out. I mean, Supercross is pretty easy, so to speak, as far as budget wise, because, you know, they're not tearing bikes up every weekend. Like, you know, we have really good race bikes, but outdoors, it's like, you know, not only the travel, but you're going through clutches, you're going through a lot of fuel, you're going through motors. It's a pretty expensive deal. So it really just boils down to if we can get enough help to do it. I mean, it's kind of one of them deals where the race team, you know, we're getting it started, but I can't spend everything I got, and neither can Lucas, to keep going. Like, we can only do what we can afford to do. We can't go broke doing it.
Right.
So it's kind of one of them deals, but we're definitely going to help as much as we can with the riders, and whether that means we can commit to half of them or whatever it is, we're going to do it, and we're going to give them the ability to be able to finish it on their own, whether we got to, you know, just help them with the race bike. But one way or another, hopefully you'll hear about me saying that we're committed to all of them, and the rig will be there, and, you know, who's riding and not and stuff like that. But right now, I just really don't know.
Well, I guess maybe a break from the pro side. I don't even know. I guess I don't really follow too much of the amateur stuff, but what's up next for the amateur kids?
Right now, like, we just got done with the spring nationals. So right now, most of the guys are hitting area qualifiers, and then the next thing will be regionals, and then pretty soon we're going to be heading to Loretta's. So it's a busy time for them guys getting their qualifiers in and stuff like that. But it's also a really fun time too, because all the amateur kids have been riding, motocross all winter, and all of our pro guys have been on Supercross, and now we've made that transition where now the Supercross guys ride motocross. So it's it's fun for the amateur guys to be able to see their lap times, and then, hey, what's Zach's lap time, or have a comparison and watch how they do it, and get to train with them a little bit. So this is a good time for them, and but pretty much qualifiers is what everybody's chasing around doing now.
Get in here, Jason.
Yeah, we got a couple questions here coming from the chat room. Someone wants to know, someone named Jolene
Yeah.
wants to know
Great.
if you ever throw a leg over a bike anymore.
Not much. I don't know. I'd say average 1 day a month,
Oh,
but
wow.
not much. I mean, I might go a couple months without riding, and then I'll ride a little bit, but I don't know. Like I always say, I want to start. I have a 250 two-stroke, and I have a new Yamaha 450, and my two-stroke honestly it looks like crap because it's got so much dust sitting on it, and I want to ride it, but it's just hard, man. Like, you travel to the races on the weekends, and then, like I got back Sunday night, which was last night about dinner time, and then Monday morning you're back out on the track, so then you're on the track Monday through Friday, and then you're flying to the races on the weekend, and you're at the races. So it's like kind of whenever I do get a break from actually working, you really don't want to go gear up and go on the track some more. It's kind of like you want to do something that's totally opposite moto. And some of the other thing too is like our track is so freaking gnarly that it's hard when you're out of shape and a little off to ride this track. Like I have more fun going and riding local tracks that are easy, and you don't feel so out of place. But when you have all these fast dudes training and the track is gnarly, it's hard to just throw a leg on a bike and go have fun, because it's hard just for me to just ride and have fun, because I want to ride to get faster. It's kind of all I've ever done. So I don't know. Work has taken over like everybody else.
The other question someone was looking for was the cost to do something like that, a year membership at Club MX. I don't know.
That's all right. Pretty much like all the information is pretty much available on our website. But like the cost is, we do a 1-year contract, and it's broke. You can pay the whole year up front, or you can break it down into months. I don't even honestly can't tell you the total for the year, but it's $13.91 a month, whatever 12 months of that comes out to be.
Okay.
So basically, you commit to it, and you make a payment at the start of your training month of $13.91, and that includes your spot to live here, all your training, and stuff like that. So it's
is that all the meals and stuff too? Is that all part of it?
No, the meal program is $75 a week, so it's not something we require. It's everybody here does it. There's maybe one person that cooks for themselves, I think, because they live with their mom, but pretty much everybody. That's $75 a week, but it's breakfast and dinner Monday through Friday. It's totally organic, no GMOs, pretty much all gluten-free. Like, we have a full-time nutritionist, and she's our cook, so it's about the best quality food that you can get, and that's the reason we do it. So it's not the $13.91, like, I don't know, it's a lot of money, but for me, knowing how much it cost me when I was still training, like, to go ride, spending gas, your travel time, your eating, like, realistically, break that down into the week, it's not so bad when we can gear up and ride, and we're working out. We got a gym here, we got a shop here, we got everything you need, where there's not a whole lot of outside expenses. So it makes it pretty simple, really. But
what about like bike stuff? Do you guys have deals with any people that help out your riders, like getting discounts on parts and things like that, or is that they all kind of go wherever they want to go for parts?
We do. It's like we have a bunch of sponsors at club, so like we have goggle deals and like DT1 filters. They give all of our guys air filters, so they'll give them so many, and then after that they'll give them a good deal on them, and just little stuff like that. Like we try to get as many deals as we can, but at the same time, like, to be honest with you, a lot of the guys that are already here, like, they already have so much product that like Nick Coletti and Osborne and all them guys, a lot of guys already have everything they need as far as sponsorship stuff, but a lot of the amateur guys, and even a lot of the amateur guys we have here, already have rides and sponsors. But the guys who don't, we help them out with as much as we can. And honestly, a lot of the pro guys here, they help out a lot of the guys here when they need parts and they got it, or stuff like that. They try to help them out, and they'll talk to their guys about getting them hooked up with a sponsor and stuff like that. So most of the guys here, we try to take care of them on all that stuff the best we can.
Cool.
And hopefully with
So
the team
what
stuff,
kind of,
then
I mean,
that'll.
do you have any
Go
like
ahead.
C riders there, or I mean, is it just all super fast dudes, or what levels do you guys have?
No, it's like we got C-class guys. We got like, that's why I said the groups. We have an A, B, and a C group. So the A group is pretty much made up of all pros, and the B group is even maybe a couple pros yet, and down to like our fast B riders and fast schoolboy kids. And then the C group is pretty much C riders and like schoolboy guys who are not slow by no means, but we have a couple mini bike kids. So like, I think we have 3 or 4 85s here, three super minis and an 85 kid, and but they're pretty much to the point where they run on their super minis just as fast as most of the big bike guys, so they fit in really well. So it's not C, and we don't have like I don't know how you say, a criteria to meet as far as speed goes. Like, if you're working hard and you're busting your ass, that's all we care. It's not really about just because his name is this that we want him. Like, we've honestly had some really fast kids come here, and they'd be here for 3 days, they hate it and leave. And we've had other fast guys that they've gone on their 3rd year here and they love it. It's just a personality thing, like, if we got what you need, like, it's all good. But other guys, one program isn't the same for everybody, and we have a bunch of different programs here just to meet the different demands of the riders we got here. And there's other guys that it doesn't meet theirs at all, so they need to go to someone that can help them. So it's, when we do the year contract, we have a 2-week trial the first 2 weeks, and at the end of the 2 weeks, for one, they decide, and two, us as a staff decide if for one, we feel like we can help them, and two, we feel like they're going to be an asset at club. And people getting confused about that. They're like, well, why do we have to be an asset there? We're paying you to be there. But on our end, we feel like such a limited number of guys that you do have to be an asset here, because you not only have to be an asset to us, but you have to be an asset to every other rider here. And that's what creates this good group of guys, is that it's not only us helping them, but they're helping each other, and the pro guys are helping the C guys. And it's not like, one guy thinks he's so special and don't have to do nothing for anybody else. So it's, the group of guys that we have here are awesome, not just on the bike, but off the bike. And it's, it makes the whole process enjoyable.
Nice.
Hey, Scotty, do you want to hit that last question? I think that's the 3rd one. I'd like to hear you say this guy's name.
All right.
Go ahead. I can't wait to hear what you come up with.
Brandon, if you don't know, I can't pronounce anyone's name or certain tracks anymore. The Wisconsin has taken over, I guess. I don't know. So, from the chat room, we want to know when Darian. Oh, sorry. See? There you go. I can't even say
I
his
didn't
first
think you
name.
threw up the first name.
That's because I'm looking at his last name. Do you know who I'm talking about?
Darian Sinai.
There you go.
Yeah, that's actually he's from Washington. I don't know if you said Wisconsin, but
No, that's
well, what
me.
about Derek?
I'm from Wisconsin, and I can't talk.
Oh, right on.
But,
Yeah.
He wants to know when he's
Oh.
going to go pro.
When is Darian gonna go pro?
Yeah.
Well, hopefully after Loretta's this year is the plan. I mean, Darian is, man, he's an awesome kid. He's awesome face, awesome work ethic. Like everything about Darian is headed in the right direction. He does well here. But Darian is last year he's a B rider, and you know he's right there battling for championships. I think he got came out second this year at Loretta's in the B. Jordan Smith won, but felt like he could have done a little better. But Loretta's was a little bit of a toss-up this year with the mud. But Darian has stepped it up a lot. He's an amateur A rider, but he runs pretty close to the same times as the pro guys here. So he's on that level. When he moves up, he's gonna not only move up, but he's gonna make that transition really well. So the plan is for him to go to Loretta's and make a statement and get a ride and go on to the pros. But the hard part about this sport is making that transition into the pros. You got to have good bikes. You got to have a good team, and the level of rider that he's at, it's hard to make that transition without a good bike underneath you. So if he doesn't get a ride, then it'll be plan B, and whether that's to stay amateur another year or to do arena cross or to go do it on his own, that's something that we've been talking about now and try to do what's best for him. But right now the plan is go kill it and get a ride and move on. He's a Team Green supported amateur guy, but there's nothing after that for pros. So it's I don't know, it's hard, and it's really hard too because from a money standpoint, it's somebody like him makes pretty decent money racing amateur stuff, and the sad thing is when they go pro without a ride, I mean, they can go do 10th place on their own, and they're going to make less money at the pro level than what they can as an amateur. So it seems kind of twisted and backwards, but at the end of the day, if he can't get a ride and move on, then we'll just have to figure out what plan B is from there.
When you say racing amateur, you mean like local stuff where he's getting like payouts from like local pro purses, or?
You mean not really. Mostly like sponsor money and
okay.
Kawasaki contingency, just like sponsorships like that.
Okay.
You can make more money winning amateur stuff than you can riding in 10th place at a pro national. It's pretty much what I'm getting at. But obviously you can't hang out at an amateur and do that in A class for a couple of years. But the kids aren't like winning super minis and the fast B kids and the fast A kids. Like they're all doing okay with contingency and stuff. And then that's what's hard when you go pro with no ride. Man, it's so expensive. I mean, I don't know. There's so many things that most people don't know about. Like, and then riding a lights bike is, people say, yeah, well, it's 90% rider, 10% bike. But, if you got a 2-minute lap time, well, 10% of that is, I don't even know what it is, 3 seconds. So, 3 seconds a lap is the difference from winning to 15th place. So it's like that bike is very important, even though it's maybe only a small percentage, but that's a huge difference. So if you can't get a good 250F, it's really expensive to do it on your own. And if you're a family and your sponsorships, if you're not in that position, that's why I say then we got to figure out what's the best plan B. But I feel like he's going to do really good at Loretta's this year. I think he's going to kill it, and I think he's going to get a ride, and it'll all work out. So I hope that after Loretta's, he'll finish the outdoor season and then bounce right into Supercross.
What is the after Loretta's? What's the next national? Do you know?
I don't know. I'm not sure, to be honest with you.
There's usually only like 3, right, after Loretta's?
Yeah, there's usually 3 or 4. I don't know if Southwick was right after Loretta's this year or right before. I don't remember, to be honest with you. I haven't looked at the outdoor schedule except for the first couple rounds. so I don't remember which one fell right after Loretta's, but there's usually only 3.
Jason, you still with us?
Yeah, I'm still here.
You got any questions?
Well, first of all, Brandon, could you knock it off with the one-word answers? I mean, God, it's tough.
Yeah.
I'm just teasing you, buddy. You're doing a good job. I'm just sitting here smoking cigarettes and eating cheeseburgers. That's my training program.
Yeah.
But no, I don't mind going last because I have questions that most people probably don't care about. So basically, I guess consider myself somewhat of an operator. Obviously, nowhere near on as at your level. I did run Kellogg for a little while there after you left and that. But I guess I'm just wondering your background. How did you get into running equipment? Where did you gain your experience with that? Because obviously the pictures and stuff you post on Facebook and everywhere, you're obviously awesome at it.
Well, not necessarily all the pictures I post are necessarily stuff I did, but I mean, probably a lot of it. As if you see the dozer blade in front of me, then that was definitely me. But a lot of the pictures I post are from my brother Phil. He'll prep the track in the morning, and I'll run out there and snap a picture or something. But the track building thing, like, I don't know, to be honest with you. Like, I didn't necessarily learn it in any specific way. I just, like everybody, like, you get in a skid steer and you run it, and everybody thinks they can run a skid steer. They're the best one there is, and I guess I thought the same, and it turned out I was okay at it. And then I got in the dozer and I figured out how to run it and the excavator and all that stuff. But I think just the operating thing is, I don't know, I guess it's just kind of like a natural thing. I kind of always been like that since a kid. I've been good at driving stuff and I enjoyed it. And truthfully, that's what, I mean, the training and stuff, like, yeah, I feel like I'm a good trainer and I'm a good coach. Not because I was an A rider or pro rider or anything like that. Like, I feel like the team of people that we've acquired and stuff like that, I feel like that is my calling and it's what I do. But for me to start this facility, I couldn't have done it if I didn't know how to, build tracks and move dirt. Like, if I'd had to hire all that out, it'd be so expensive. And that sets Club apart, I think, from all of our competition is our tracks are big. They're awesome. They're well kept up. Like, and a lot of that is because we can do it all in-house between my brother and I. Like, we keep up on it pretty good. Like, actually, our front track, which is our main motocross track, we got Houston this weekend, and then Monday we start a track build, and we're going to do a brand new track in 3 days. So it's not like just a midway style track. Like, this is a huge track. Yeah. And between us, we can knock it out in 3 days, and they're going to have a brand new track, and we try to do that every 3 months, and nobody else can do that because most people are hiring builders to come in and do all that, or it's too expensive to talk about doing that 4 or 5 times a year. So it's, Supercross is always changing. We had a couple new layouts that we did, brand new Supercross track, and so we had 2 of those, and we changed sections all the time. And so I don't really know how to answer it. I don't know what it was, but I think it was just kind of a natural ability, really. I do feel like I'm good at it, but I'm like you. I like looking at pictures. Like, I love looking at Jason Baker's work and other track builders, and you respect it when you know what it's like, pushing the dirt yourself. But it used to be really fun. I don't like it at all anymore. I like watching Phil do it, and but I do obviously get in the dozer quite a bit, and we have a pretty big fleet of equipment. So I'm pretty fortunate that we have the tools, that we need to run a facility like we have. And that was, I was pretty fortunate to get some investors that believed in me. And, I was still living in Minnesota when all this started even getting talked about. And I think, that was when I was living in Spring Valley, Wisconsin, and I had a little place I started there. And, I had bounced around before that from Midway to a track in Zumbrota, and then went to Wisconsin. I kept getting shut down everywhere I was at, and I was having county problems, and ended up meeting Zach, and I did some track work for him, and I had some Minnesota kids. I think I don't even remember who it was at that time, Henry Miller and maybe Zach Williams and Jesse Wentland. they were living with me that winter, so we ended up meeting Zach and training out at he had a sand track where club is now, and I just mentioned to Zach, like, someday I'm gonna have a train facility. I'm just gonna sell everything I got in Minnesota, like, because we were living in a camper. It was getting old, and he was like, man, if you did that, I would love to invest in it. And I was like, really? No way, because I did some track work for him. He seen I could build a track, so he was like confident in it, and then we got to know each other better. And then I don't know if you guys are, well, anyway, so I got a couple other guys involved, and they believed in it, and they believed in my ideas, and they'd seen my track work basically as all that it really consisted of, and so that's kind of how club got started. So it was pretty cool.
Awesome. Yeah, huge fan of what you're doing. I think it's amazing that, especially somebody from this area that, obviously we're not buddies. I don't know you all that well, but I know who you are. And it's like I've told the RSR guys, it's so much fun to have some local people from around here that we can get behind. And your guys are definitely in that same group. I mean, just watching what you guys do, and I love watching, what you post on Facebook and on Twitter and everything else. It's awesome to keep up on what you guys are doing. Just keep up the good work, man.
Oh, thank you. It goes the same for me. Like I'm still a Minnesota dude at heart, and same thing with what you just said with RSR stuff. Like, I got all my stuff going on, and I've had my differences with Jesse and Zach, and they trained with me for a long time. But no matter who it is, if they're from Minnesota or Wisconsin, like, I always catch myself, standing back and watching them just because I'm pulling for the northern guys. It's like, it's kind of the same thing. Like, I haven't really lost my roots in Minnesota. I love it up there. I want to see guys to see from up there, and I hope someday that I can help Minnesota dudes as much as I can, because I know what they're going through and stuff like that. But it's I think it's cool what Shugo's doing, helping Jesse and Zach, and I think it's awesome. Like, it was cool in St. Louis this weekend, seeing all the Minnesota people there. Like, it was really cool. And everybody's like, man, you don't even remember me. I'm like, bull crap, man. It might have been 4 years, but it seems like just yesterday, It goes so fast. But yeah.
Well, like I said, it's awesome, and I was gonna bring up the whole deal with kind of the politics in racing, but we already touched on that, so we don't need to really talk about that anymore. But as far as Loretta's goes, I mean, you make an effort. I mean, you're there every year, right? You're always there for the week.
Yep. Loretta's is our, I would say, single-handedly biggest event of the year. It trumps all our motocross and professional supercross. It trumps pretty much everything. Like, Loretta's is a big week, man. It's from a business standpoint, to marketing, and our riders doing well. Like, it all starts as an amateur. We have a lot of amateur guys that have been with us for a long time that are now professionals, like Jay Owen and Shane McElrath, and a bunch of them guys. Like, we started with them as an amateur when they were in D class, and ultimately, like, as club, that's where we're generating the start of our business, and our goal is to get them guys here and help them be successful so that they continue to stay here for years, not just be here for a year and bail, or whatever the case may be. We want to keep working with them, because once we get to know them, it's a lot easier to help them with what they're struggling with. But Loretta's is a big deal. We go there with the entire staff. We cook all week. I mean, our cook is there doing breakfast and dinner for all of our riders. Sarah's there helping with warm-ups. Like, me and Mike are all over the track helping them with lines and whatever we can. I mean, it's as far as resources, we do everything we possibly can. Like Supercross, it's just me going. Like, Mike has to stay here and train with guys, but Loretta's is cool because pretty much all of our amateur guys are doing it, so there's nobody left back training. And then all the pro guys have a break from nationals that week, and they all go to Loretta's. And last year was really cool because Nicoletti and Osborne and then they come and stayed with us, and they were a part of helping the amateur kids just as much as we were, and the amateur guys feed off that. They love seeing their not only their peers and guys to train with, but people they respect and look up to. Like, it's pretty cool that they're there to help them, and that's what I I kind of meant earlier, saying that it's like a big family. You know, it's not like any pro guy here walks around with his nose in the air, you know, blowing other guys off. It's pretty cool seeing one of the top guys in our sport go help a sea rider, go help a mini bike kid. You know, it just kind of makes you proud to have them guys involved with what you're doing.
Yeah, for sure. It's an awesome feeling. And I actually got to meet Mike earlier in this winter when he was back here in Minnesota. Ended up at a little shindig with him and got to talk with him a little bit. Seems like an awesome dude. I'd never met him before.
Yeah, Mike's a good dude. He's got a lot of energy. So Mike has kind of I mean, we see eye to eye on a lot of things, but you know, I'm usually more like the quiet, do your job and we're all good sort of guy, and Mike's like the dude bouncing around all up in your face, more military style. So it's kind of cool that we're kind of opposite personalities. He jokes around a lot, and I'm serious. So it's good for me to kind of, you know, loosen me up a little bit and not be so, you know, business stuff all the time. But Mike does really well. He's a huge asset to what we do.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much, man, for taking the time to talk with us tonight. I'm sure these other guys probably got something more for you, but thanks for the time. And Jeff and I are hoping to get our way down to Loretta's this year, so it'd be fun to meet up with you down there. And someday I'm going to come out and check out your facility.
Yeah, well, that'd be awesome. Anytime. I don't know if there's a lot of Minnesota guys listening, but people text me and send messages on Facebook and email all the time. And, you know, like I always invite Minnesota guys down here anytime, check it out and do some riding and stuff like that. Like, I think it you know, I'm proud to show it to Minnesota guys, is I guess what I'm saying. So it's all good.
Well, you got a lot to be proud of from what I've seen. So good job, man.
Thank you.
Cool, Brandon. I think that's it. So yeah, it's actually a lot longer than I thought we'd have you on. So thanks for taking the time for sure.
Yeah. Hey, Brandon.
No
DeCarroll says hi.
Dougie, right on. What's happening?
We got a few Minnesota people listening. Your place is gonna blow up with Minnesotans now.
Yeah. Well, it was actually crazy because when we first opened, I think when we first opened, we only took 16 riders at that time. But out of the 16, probably 12 of them were Minnesota guys living here that winter, and it's crazy now. Obviously, it's not so much like that, but at the time, like I had a lot of friends and guys I worked with in Minnesota that it was awesome to be able to have them help support it right off the bat and get it going in the direction it's going in now, because it would have been really hard to open a facility like this without having guys to get on board with right away. You know, it was crazy the support it got from Minnesota people and Wisconsin as well. But now, obviously, I've been down here for so long, and it's kind of weird when I did go back to Millville. Like, you know, I don't even know any of the guys in B class and the mini kids, and you know, everybody that I used to know is all grown up or not around anymore. So it's kind of different, but I still pay attention to. I even find myself looking at results just from Minnesota racing going on, just to see, you know, mostly the Millville stuff, what's going on in that area. But yeah, it's pretty cool.
Well, cool, Brandon. I guess you want to give a shout out, I guess, to where everyone can find you online and Twitter and Facebook, and we'll let you get back to your evening.
Yeah, the website's clubmx-sc.com, which it originally was clubmxmn.com, but so ClubMX did actually start in Minnesota. It was actually, I think when you talked about Midway, that's what it was practice. I called it ClubMX Practice Facility. That's where it all started. But anyway, clubmx-sc.com, and then you can find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, clubmx_clubmx or whatever. But we post pictures all the time and try to keep everybody involved what we're doing daily. So if you're interested in it, you can follow us and keep up with it.
Awesome. All right, man. Well, we'll be rooting for the boys. Well, now it's going to be a couple weeks. They're on a break, right? Until the
our team is our team's got a break until New York, but this weekend will be Houston, and so if you're going to root for anybody, it should be Zach Osborne and Shane McElrath.
You got it.
Be the club guys.
Right on.
Cool. All right. Thanks
All
again.
right, thank you guys.
Yep. Have a good
Yeah.
one.
You too.
Yeah. Let's take a commercial. I got to take a leak.
Yeah,
Wow.
no kidding.
Sorry, guys.
I got 2 bottles of water to get rid of.
All right. Let's hit up a commercial. We'll be right back. Hey, what is going on, everybody? I just want to say thank you to everyone out there that's been supporting the Talkin Moto Podcast. It has been amazing. We have a great group of guys. We have an awesome list of sponsors. So please keep sharing, keep liking, keep spreading the word about the Talkin Moto Podcast. And I hope you're enjoying the show. A special thanks to Motokazi.com. Motokazi holds AMA District 23 sanctioned races at both Kellogg and Mankato, as well as hosts the Motokazi Supercross Championship Series, which is all over Minnesota, Iowa, and Wisconsin. They also have organized practice at Kellogg, Jordan, and at Mankato, as well as offer race schools, so you can get all tuned in on all your riding techniques. Make sure to check out Motokazi.com for more details. MB1 Suspensions is the newest sponsor to the Talkin Moto Podcast. Based out of Corona, California, they offer engine, suspension, and coating services. If you're into Supercross, Motocross, Supermoto, Freestyle, or Step Up, they'll get you set up. So make sure to contact them today online at mb1suspensions.com. And make sure to tell them that you heard about them from us on the Talkin Moto Podcast. Hey, we got Andy and Chad from the Open Mic. It's a weekly comedy podcast, and they talk about anything and everything, and they usually do. I've been on the podcast a few times, and it is a good time for sure. It's Friday nights, 8 p.m. Central. It's available on iTunes, SoundCloud, Stitcher. There's more information available online at theopenmicpodcast.com. Pro Action by FTM is one of our many great sponsors. FTM offers support to you, the rider, trackside, so when you need it the most, FTM is there for you. Not only do they offer great suspension work, but they also have many other great bike parts and accessories to help you out on the track. So make sure to check them out today at finetune.com. The Talkin Moto Podcast is proud to announce that they've teamed up with Plainview Powersports. Plainview Powersports is your Kawasaki motorcycle, ATV, and side-by-side headquarters. Located in Plainview, Minnesota, you can reach them at 507-534-3520 or check them out online at plainview-powersports.com. Wow.
Woo. Hey, I got a dumb question. Can you hear me when you're on commercial? Like, if we talk, will it show up?
Yeah.
Yes, it will.
Oh, okay.
Yep. Yes, it will. We almost lost the podcast.
What's that?
What'd you do?
I had, I have my gaming headset, which has, a 15-foot cord on it. So, I had it all kind of, wrapped up in, a little ball, and I just put it in, my pants pocket. Well, I'm like, all right. I take my headphones off, and then, I go to step away to get something to drink, and obviously my cord is connected to my computer. Almost dropped everything.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Not
that would have
cool.
not been good.
Not cool. So that was pretty cool. He was on, a lot longer than I thought we were going to have him on, so thanks to Brandon for chit-chatting for so long.
Yeah, that was awesome.
What do you got in your notes there, Jason? I hear paper. And I don't know.
I'm trying to sound important.
Yeah, he's just trying to sound busy.
Well, how about a shout out to Plainview Power Sports for jumping on board? I heard the spot for them there, and just want to throw out, buddy of ours just bought a bike from down there this weekend. Had nothing but good things to say about those guys. So, thanks to them for jumping on board. And next time we're down in the Plainview area, I'll stop in and say hi.
Heck yeah! Nope, that's awesome.
You don't sell my brand, so I'm sorry. That's just me, but I will stop in and say hello. Maybe sling some swag your way.
Speaking of shout-outs, I didn't even do this, but my brother is sponsoring the chat room tonight. So the King's Color and Chrome in beautiful downtown Dundas.
That's my neck of the woods. I think I asked you, but I looked for that actually when I drove through there, and I can't figure out where it is. But
oh, come on, man.
well, I looked. I didn't stop and look. I just drove through and looked.
You come up to that stop sign, you look to the left, it's all the bars.
Yep.
You look to the right, there's a building right on the corner. His is right behind that one. There's only 2 buildings on that side.
I was looking in the wrong side then. I thought he was on the same strip as the bars.
Nope, he's across that road.
I'm always going too fast because I'm trying to jump the railroad tracks.
Oh yeah, that's right. Matt bought a bike from Plainview Power Sports. I forgot he bought his Cow 450 from them.
Nice.
We've been with them forever. The Kleins, us Kleins, not you, Jason.
I thought I was a client. I got my tattoo today.
Got voted in.
I gotta have that blacked out. That's gonna suck.
I have this giant black square. Ugh. Well, okay, so I might as well chit-chat about the main. I was waiting for Davalos to crash.
Why?
I don't know.
Are we gonna go Davalos hating again?
I'm not hating him. That's what I'm like. Oh, he's got a good start. Okay. Now I'm just waiting for him to wash the front wheel out. That's it. That's not hating.
You're a hater.
I'm not.
Yes, you are.
Who do you think's gonna win? Do you think he's got it, or you think Bogo's gonna get it?
Before this weekend, I thought Bogle had a pretty good shot at it. Now I don't know, man. I mean, obviously
broke him.
Anything can happen, but if I'm a betting man, I'm putting my money on Davalos right now. Not Davalos, not Davalos, Davalos.
I think we should call him something different every time, like they do on TV.
I agree.
What do I say that wrong too? Probably.
No, it's not you.
Oh.
I'm done making fun of you for tonight. I know I was kind of hard on you.
Yes, I'm pretty heartbroken. I'm gonna find the answers to all my problems in the bottom of this ice cold lemonade.
You go easy on that stuff now. You have to drive home.
Yeah. What happened to Little Martin? Did he rip his brake lever off, or what were they messing with? Did you see? I never heard him say anything other than he was in the pits and then he took off.
I guess I don't really know.
Jeff or Matt, what happened? In the chat room. Come on. Help us
That's
out.
what it looked like they were doing. I think didn't he crash in that same section that Alex did? Didn't he crash later on in it and must have jacked up his front brake or something because they were messing with it? I don't know. They didn't really say, it was kind of...
Well, he's not on a Cowie. He's not a monster rider. He's not a Geico rider. So why would they talk about him?
Whoa. That's all.
I know it's harsh, but it's the truth. It's a sad reality.
I was pretty pumped for Alex running up front for a little bit.
Well, they were both riding awesome, but yeah, it's unfortunately the bad luck came out again. I figured poor Greta just had to be having a heart attack with both of them down in the same section.
Didn't they do the SX mode or whatever of Alex, and he hits that dragon's back and he's all crossed up, but not in a good way? And yeah, that didn't look like much fun.
No, not at all.
But so yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I kind of think. I think it's Pro Circuits to lose for this one.
I would have to definitely agree with you.
Because there's only, well, there's two left, including Vegas, and then Vegas is kind of different, right? Because it's it goes right out of practice into your main event.
Yeah, I think it's based on how you are in the season standings, isn't it? Don't they take the? You don't have to do heat races. I don't think you're in if you're top 20 or whatever. Right? I might be wrong. I don't know.
I don't remember how they get it. I know they go practice, and then I'm guessing if you make your times, then you go right into your heat or main events, and then they take whatever the top 9. Whatever. We'll have to look into it. But
We'll see when it happens.
Vegas, baby. That's about it. I don't have anything else in the lights class that I thought was entertaining.
No, I was just telling you guys that Davalos, I think he broke Bogle. That was my thinking. By beating him, by withstanding that pressure, I think he just beat him mentally, so he's got it.
Yeah, I think he definitely proved a little something there. Finally, I'm glad to see the guy finally put together another solid main and had pressure on him the whole time and didn't succumb to the haters. SKD.
Hell yeah. Man, I feel like I'm missing something. This is the other thing, like, okay, so Davalos, then you have Bogle, and 45 seconds later comes Baggett. You know? I don't know.
That Baggett's got to be just waiting for out. He's just riding it out, right? He's just staying healthy at this point because, well, I guess he was only 24 points back or something, but as much shit goes wrong, stuff goes wrong for him in in Supercross, he's just got to get through it and tear it up outdoors.
We got some haters in the chat room, I see.
Matt, you're supposed to be kicking them people out.
Producer Thew.
This is what I have to say to Nana.
But, yeah, I don't know. And then I'm staring at my 450 notes. I have 450 main written down, and it's blank. The entire page is blank.
That was a good race, though. It was suspenseful, and Stewart stalked him for, 12 laps or something and made the pass. And I was more worried that Stewart was going to wash out than Davalos, because that would have just ruined it for me.
Do you think RV is kind of holding back?
Well, that's the thing that sucks about this time of year and the fact that he's got a frickin' points lead a mile long. Because all the RV fans are going to be like, oh, he let Stewart by. Well, I don't think I think he wants to win, always. But I think if he had one sketchy moment while he was pushing to stay ahead of Stewart, he probably had to remind himself that, hey, I'm not really racing Stewart for the, title at this point.
In my opinion, he's settled in now. He knows all he has to do is finish. So why go out there and push it? He's going to ride in his comfort zone. And why wouldn't you? You pretty well got it wrapped up. You're telling me you're going to go out there and race for the win and potentially throw away a championship at this point in the season when you got it wrapped up?
For entertainment value, yes.
Well, I think
I strongly disagree.
I have a feeling that it's probably not sitting too well with him that doesn't have the most wins. I think that would bother a guy that, once the gate drops, a lot of guys lose their mind a little bit and just They're out there, racing for pride, and they don't want to lose.
Right.
So I don't know. I mean, I have a feeling that he's probably at this point smart enough to know when to back it down a little bit and just get the points. But it pisses me off that he's in that position because I would have loved to see those two. That's the first time we've ever really seen them two racing together. It's usually like one of them starts up front and the other starts in back, and Villopoto really doesn't ever start in back. But it seems like Stewart's either crashing off the start or getting a terrible start and having to fight his way up to or crashing out. But I was just super pumped that they were riding together, and then for the position of the points, the battle never really came to be. But
yeah, I don't know. Stewart probably likes it. I would assume that he gets a probably pretty sweet bonus maybe from Suzuki for race wins. You'd have to think.
He probably gets $100K for a race win. I think that's kind of standard. I think. I would think if you're that dude, that's the points. I saw some stuff on Racer X that Villopoto had a $5 million championship bonus, which is usually they're like $1 million. So if he's got a $5 million one, that's a pretty serious payout.
Yeah, I would consider that astronomical.
Yeah, and whoever his agent is pretty good apparently, because that's a pretty healthy bonus, and it's a pretty safe bet he's going to win one. So apparently Kawasaki's doing all right. Well, I guess it's the monster money.
Jeff, did you get your fantasy picks in? Or did
and they were just dog duck.
Dog duck.
Yeah, they were terrible. I think I got Stewart right. So that's one thing. I kind of predicted Villopoto would be. I don't know. I just keep thinking Dungey's gonna have a better race, and he just doesn't do it. So I keep picking him to finish in front of Villopoto, and I don't know why I keep doing it, but that's the problem with my fantasy stuff. I pick it the way I want it to happen, not the way that's realistic.
Yeah, I thought Stewart. I thought RV was going to come back a little bit stronger, and especially after what all happened last week, and but then again I kind of had to pick him Friday night and didn't really watch any practice, and I seen he qualified. He was top 10 maybe 8th or something like that. But yeah, I don't really know if he's gonna win one, the rest of the year. If Stewart can keep it on two wheels.
I think he hasn't really had any crashes on his own since when he went down in that third or fourth turn after that straightaway. I guess that's the last crash I can think of that was just totally his fault, where he locked up the front tire.
Why does Matt hate Dungey so much?
He's probably like me. He just wishes Dungey was better.
He hates him because he's not Stewart.
They were saying something on TV, and it's I think you have Stewart on one level, and then you got Villopoto, and then Dungey. I think there's obviously 3 different levels of dudes right there,
When someone had Stewart above Villopoto?
I think Stewart right now is above Villopoto, yeah. Yep.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess it depends on what you look at.
As far as, now with RV, let's just say he's just kind of coasting right now, And so, obviously, if Stewart's pushing him, he may or may not push him back, Yeah,
but the thing that's crazy, though, is that people have been saying that Villopoto's been cruising all season, since the first round. Because it was the dirt, he doesn't want to push it on the dirt, he doesn't want to wash out and ruin it. He's managing a points lead or whatever. Just wait till we head east. You kept hearing that from people. Then he's going to tear people up, And so if he's just been cruising all year, how in the heck does he have a 36-point or 35-point lead? I mean, and he's only won, 3 races?
I think it's 4.
He's taking a page out of Dungey's book.
Well, how come it doesn't work for Dungey then?
Because Villapoto's still there, and he's just one step above him.
Well, yeah, because Stewart. Yeah, Stewart's got all the other guys behind him all have DNFs, you know.
Yeah. Well, and that could very well happen to him, but when's the last time he DNF'd a Supercross race?
This weekend.
What are you talking about?
I'm calling it. RV DNF this weekend. Tighten up the points.
I'd be all right with that, except for he'd still be 10 up.
That's better than 25.
It's true. At least that's doable. Then he might have to ride. You know, he might have to race for the win.
But
I don't even know who's second in points anymore. Is it Dungey or is it Stewart?
I think it's Stewart after that little last lap crash with him and Brayton. Let's take a little look-see.
I don't even know.
Oh.
Honestly, I don't even know what if where Dungey finished. I don't even know. I may or may not have watched the race. I'm not sure.
I don't know if this is even updated. I don't think so. This is not updated. Supercrossonline.com. Update your stuff, please.
Yeah, I looked at it before. It's not updated.
Yeah.
How are low-budget operations like us supposed to stay current when our go-to websites can't even do it?
Well, I think that I want to say that during the race when Stewart got into the lead, the guys were talking about Stewart, if he finished ahead of Villapoto, would be 36 points back. But then at the end, they said that he had a 35-point lead. So I think Dungey might still be in second with 35 back, and Stewart might be 36 back. So that's my assumption, and it's uneducated, so don't hold me to it.
I'm holding you to it. I'm looking it up right now, and if it's not right, so help me God.
Dude, I just saw Jason Thompson in our chat room and totally thought at first that it might be Jason Thomas.
Don't feel bad. I did the same thing.
Sorry, Jason Thompson.
No. All right, let's see what we got for points.
Yeah, I think I'm right from the looks of it. So
Doesn't say. Oh, well. All right, boys. You got anything else? Oh, shoot. I forgot. Actually, I got an email today from Lee with Motokazi. And I don't know if you guys check this out or not. He's thinking maybe April 12th. April 12th and 13th. You guys...
I just said earlier tonight, we'll be riding here in 3 weeks.
that's only 2 weeks away, and that's when I'm going to be gone in Indiana. That sucker.
Then, yeah, so...
Oh, crap. If I hold my word, I'll be with you.
he'll be fine. He's a big kid. He can take care of himself.
I got my wife and kid coming as long as they didn't leave me tonight.
But yeah, he said their race or practice, I believe, April 12th and 13th.
Oh my god, dude. She can hear me through the walls.
She's got super hearing.
Yeah. We might have a domestic
Tonight on the Talkin Moto Podcast, domestic assault.
Yeah, Jeff goes to jail for domestic abuse.
Duck gets real.
Oh, shoot.
If you're not in the chat room, you're not going to get that.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. This duck is getting real.
Boy, they are dropping like flies in the chat room.
Yep, we're losing.
I think it's pretty safe to say that Brandon Haas carried this one.
You might want to think about firing me and Jason and hiring him. Just saying.
We need some life support in the chat room.
All I got to say is somebody pony up and pay me a decent salary, and I'll be all over this. But it's getting really hard to have another full-time job and be trying to get ready to go racing and do this. It's tough. I'm sorry, everybody. I'm really trying, but I think I need to start locking myself in my house on Saturday nights and watching the races alone because my ADD kicks in when there's people around.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Oh, shoot. All right, boys. Let's stop the bleeding, huh?
Too late. Let it bleed out.
I don't know. I had a good time. I think it was awesome. Brandon was on for quite a while, so.
Hey, we got our biggest turnout yet, too, in the chat room. We had 23, so things are they're going the right direction anyway.
That's right. All right, guys. So that'll be it. Thanks again to everyone for coming on, and the chat room I think is, I think that's working. We'll work on the ticket giveaways and all that stuff. I think we're going to do that on Facebook, but we'll get something drawn up. So thanks to MB1 Suspensions, Fine Tune Motorsports, Motokazi, Plainview Power Sports, Hardline MX, Minnesota District 23, Spring Creek MX Park, The Bicycle Works, The Damn Bait Shop, The Open Mic Podcast, Northland MX, and SKD.
KB5, Mike Little.
Whoa.
And King's Color and Chrome in Dundas.
Beautiful downtown Dundas.
Hey, there's an old mill in downtown Dundas that's pretty cool to look at, so check it out when you're at King's Custom Chrome.
Just watch out for the railroad tracks.
Coming.
Scott will be jumping them.
And if you do go by the bar, there is a stop sign down there, like a block or two in. Make sure to stop for that.
So it's optional.
Liar.
I got pulled over once, and he's like, "I don't know how you got going so fast," and I'm like, "I don't remember stopping." But all right, guys, thanks for listening. We'll catch you next week.
Later.
Peace out, homies. Stay classy.
Hang on. Stop it.
That wasn't supposed to make the cut.
We're done.
I've been holding it for 3 hours.